Welcome back to Sports Week in Review. Now, the All-Ontario U-13 Hockey Championships got underway at Fort William Gardens this week, with 7 AAA teams competing for the provincial title, including the Thunder Bay Kings. But unfortunately for the host team, they would have their hands full in Wednesday morning's opener against the Markham Majors. Jonathan Wilson has the highlights.
The Thunder Bay Kings U-13s were fired up for their first game against the top team from the Greater Toronto Hockey League, the Markham Majors. And the Kings had a big cheering section as hundreds of school kids were bussed in to root on the home side. Kings goalie Kanan McGillivray was keeping this game scoreless early on, stopping Antonio Schiavo on a breakaway, but Schiavo got another chance a little later on in the first period, firing at top corner over McGillivray's glove to make it 1-0 Markham. Kings forward Brady Nash was looking to tie it up here. He unleashes a slap shot that hits Majors goalie Dylan Sack right in the mask, and the first period ends 1-0 Markham. In the second period, the floodgates open for the visitors. Joseph Fenwick takes a pass and fires it home to make it 2-0. Then it's Cam Johnson pushing in a rebound to put Markham up 3-0. Nash makes another rush for the Kings, and Mason Glauscher goes for the rebound, but Sack holds the fort for the Majors. Markham would score 2 more goals in the second period and 4 goals in the third to take the opening game in this tournament 9-0. Jonathan Wilson, TBT Sports.
After the blowout loss to the Majors, the good news for the Thunder Bay Kings was that they would not have to wait long for another shot at getting into the win column. They were right back on the ice less than 7 hours later for a duel with their regional rivals, the Kenora Thistles. Kings coach Jason Disher said they were simply overmatched by the Markham Majors Wednesday morning and that they were looking to get off to a better start against the Kenora Thistles Wednesday night. Well, the Kings did just that. After jumping ahead 2-0 in the opening 2 minutes, Gavin Goddick's shot deflects in off goaltender Declan Scott's glove, Kings up 3-0. Then minutes later, Cooper Disher buries the nice dish from Jace Vortman and thanks him with the nice celly, 4-0 Kings. Second period, the goals keep on coming. A scramble in front of the Thistles' net results in a goal for Owen Trevizanuto, and it's 5-0 Kings. The Thistles would get one back, though. They have a 5-on-3 power play, and Captain Sullivan Bowen has a nice clapper as he slaps one by goaltender Carter Johnson to put the Thistles on the board. Kings would answer right back, though, as Ethan Williamson, nice breakaway goal, but then gets absolutely leveled by the linesman in the corner. Body checking is not allowed at the U-13 level, but that was the hardest hit of the night. Come on, ref. They'd both laugh it off, and Williamson would be okay as the Kings lead 7-1. Brady Nash would add one more for the Kings late in the third for good measure, as the Kings follow up a 9-0 loss to Markham with an 8-1 victory over Kenora. Well, that was a tale of 2 games for the Kings on Wednesday between getting blown out by Markham and dominating Kenora. So which version of the Kings would show up against the Nickel City Suns on Thursday? Well, it turns out both of them. After scoring 4 in the first period Wednesday night against Kenora, it was another fast start for the Kings against the Nickel City Suns. Minutes after the Suns opened the scoring, Mason Glauscher the nice feed to Felix Sapé, who slaps it by Ty Imbo, and we're tied at 1. Then the Suns get called for 2 hooking penalties in one play, which means a 2-minute 5-on-3 for the Kings. But all the Kings would need is one Brady Nash, who dipsy doodles by all 3 Nickel City defenders and one-hands it 5-hole past Imbo. Nash had a hat-trick on Wednesday, and he scores a beauty to give the Kings the lead. Minutes later, Kings back on the attack. Gavin Goddick, nice shot, wristing one by Imbo. And that puts the Thunder Bay Kings up 3-1 at the first intermission. But then after surrendering an early second period goal, the Kings get in penalty trouble and the Suns' power play goes to work. Preston Hebert finds Grayson Nadiuk, who slaps it in out of mid-air. He must have been watching the Blue Jays lately, and we're all tied up at 3. Minutes later, Suns on another power play. Daisy Dupuis taking a page out of the Brady Nash book as he weaves through 3 Thunder Bay defenders before beating McGillivray, and that puts the Kings in front 4-3. Then on another Suns power play, nice pass from Owen Angus to Cooper Nikwe, who one-times it past McGillivray, and just like that, the Suns lead 5-3 after a 4-goal second period. The Suns would keep taking advantage with the man advantage in the third, and Cooper Nakwe would keep one-timing shots past McGillivray. His second of the game puts the Suns up 6-3. The Kings would get one back in the third thanks to Jace Wortman, but Nickel City's 4 power play goals were the big difference in this one as the Kings lose to the Suns 7-4 the final. That loss dropped the Kings to a 1-2 record in the round robin, which means they were in need of a victory against the Ottawa Titans on Friday morning to keep their hopes alive of advancing to this weekend's semifinals. But as Vasilios Bellos reports, the host team received a massive boost from the home crowd.
Thunder Bay's U-13 Kings entered the Friday morning matchup against the Ottawa Valley Titans, a game below 500. So this was a big one if they wanted to have a shot of making the semis. And while they did give up the first goal of the game, no doubt the Kings rallied behind the electric home crowd. Still 1-0 at the beginning of the second, where the Kings find themselves on a 2-on-0. Cooper Disher with the unselfish play to set up Jace Wortman, who makes no mistake. We've got a tie hockey game. About 7 minutes later, a scrum in the Titans' corner. Brady Nash wins the battle, and on his way into the slot, lets go a beautiful wrist shot. That gives the Kings the lead, and they keep that momentum going. Third period now, it's now a 3-1 lead. Jace Wortman flies up the wing, and he's going to slide this one 5-hole. Kings are up by 3, though they weren't done yet. A late Titans push means it's now a 4-3 game, though Wortman again finding space up the left wing, and this time returning the favor to Cooper Disher. Beautiful pass leaving an easy finish for Disher. Kings win 6-3 the final. Cooper Disher led the way with the hat trick, though he was quick to pass off the credit.
Yeah, well, I couldn't have done it without my teammate Jace over here, and he gave me most of those passes, and I just buried them. That was wild. There's so many people here. It helped us, definitely.
Up 4-1 there. They got 2 back. It was 4-3, and we didn't give up. We kept going. Obviously, we lost our last one. To get this one, it's nice. We got to come back. Already played tonight, though.
Vasilios Bellos, TBT Sports.
Now at 500, the Kings continued their provincial round-robin action with an early Friday evening game against the Sun County Panthers. Friday morning's win meant that if the Kings beat the Panthers, they would put a stranglehold on a semifinal spot. But unlike their morning game against the Titans, things went south pretty quickly for the Kings against the Panthers. All it took was 22 seconds for the Panthers to open the scoring against the Thunder Bay Kings. Matthew Taylor goes coast to coast before rifling it past Carter Johnson. That puts the Panthers up 1-0. Then less than 3 minutes later, Taylor again, this time jumping on the loose puck. His speed beats 1 King, 2 Kings, 3 Kings, and 4 Kings before he finishes the give and go to put the Panthers up 2-0. But then the Kings would get a golden opportunity to respond. Cooper Disher on a breakaway, but he gets taken down by a Panthers backchecker, and that's a penalty shot. Disher with the opportunity to put the Kings on the board. Disher gets denied by Ethan Townsend, and it remains a 2-0 game. Second period, Panthers back on the attack, a scramble in front of the Kings' net, but the whistle does not blow until the ref signals that the puck crossed the line. Alex West gets credited with the goal, and the Panthers are up 3-0. The onslaught would continue in the frame, as it's now 4-0 Panthers, and Carter Trudell finds Cole Korestein, who one-times it past Carter Johnson to make it 5-0 Panthers. Korestein would add a second and a third to complete the hat trick, and also Ethan Townsend, he'd complete a 17-save shutout as the Panthers dominate the Kings 7-0 the final.
Welcome back, and Mike, like we were saying before the break, the Thunder Bay Kings were in action, and it was a very important game.
And like we said before the break, it was an up and down round robin for the Thunder Bay Kings, but the Thunder Bay Kings, they are off to the semifinals of the U-13 Provincial Championship. The hosts turned in their most complete performance of the competition so far earlier this afternoon against the Whitby Wildcats. Here's Kurt Black with the highlights.
With their backs up against the ropes, the Thunder Bay Kings came out swinging against the Whitby Wildcats Saturday afternoon as Owen Trevis Nudo would get the party started just 58 seconds in, beating Whitby's Lucas Butler with a perfect shot into the top corner. And then moments later, Brady Nash will look to double the Kings' early lead as he's just going to walk right through a trio of defenders, but Butler is up to the task. On to the second. Kings with the man advantage. Jace Vortman's shot, that'll be stopped, but amongst all the chaos, there's Cooper Disher to bang in the rebound to give the Kings the 2-0 lead. And just 3 minutes after that, Nash is going to win the face-off to himself before banking his shot off the keeper and in. And just like that, the Kings, well, they were off and running. As Travis Nudo and Nash would add insurance markers in the third, and Kanan McGilfrey would do the rest. As the young keeper would slam the door on the Wildcats down the stretch to secure the 5-1 victory and a spot in one of tomorrow's semifinals.
Kanan played amazing. He held us in there a few times today, right? And the kids just kept battling and going, and they all believed in themselves and each other, and away we went.
Going into that game, we were pretty ready for that. We were ready to play the Wildcats. During that game, it was after we scored a few, I knew we were cruising through that one.
I think that was our best defensive game of the year, hands down, by Kanan, by all 6, 7D, and by our forwards coming back checking. The third guy high was there. They just it all finally came together today, that's for sure.
Kurt Black, TBT Sports.
Welcome back. And Mike, the Kings have been playing some great hockey as of late, and they had a chance to get to a final.
Yeah, Mitch, they were a little bit up and down in the round robin stage, though, but they were good enough to qualify for the semifinal, where the Kings, they saved their best game for last in the bronze medal game tonight at Fort William Gardens. The Kings first lost a close 3-1 game in the semifinals to the Markham Majors, a team that previously beat them 9-0. Then they faced the Sun County Panthers, a team that beat them 7-0. But the Kings, they showed the heart of a championship team in that bronze medal game against the Panthers. Jonathan Wilson has the highlights.
The U-13 Kings surprised a lot of people by making it to the playoff round, and they had a chance to win the bronze against the Sun County Panthers, a team that humbled them in the round-robin game. But this was a very different Thunder Bay Kings. The Panthers on the power play early in the first period, but it's Brady Nash stealing the puck and scoring a shorthanded goal to put the Kings up 1-0. Thunder Bay goalie Kanan McGilvrey was shutting the door on the Panthers, making save after save. Then in the second, a shot from the point by Carter Hockenhall finds the back of the net, and the Kings are up 2-0 going into the third. That's where Nash goes in, loses the puck, but then gets it back and dekes his way through 3 Panthers before firing it home. The Kings are up 3-0, and even though the Panthers would get a late goal, the home team posts a thrilling 3-1 victory to win Thunder Bay's first medal at the U-13 All-Ontario Championships since 1997.
We played good all throughout the game, and I don't know, we just played good. It's a pretty cool opportunity that we have to be out here. It's awesome time.
This team beat you 7-0 last time, so what changed?
We played harder, we didn't give up, and we just came out stronger than last time. Now I was just thinking completely new team. I was just pretending we hadn't played them and we had not lost 7-0 and we would play a close game.
1, 2, 3.
Jonathan Wilson, TBT Sports.